Dead Metal is a third-person robot cowboy-themed sci-fi steampunk adventure shooter. The main aspects of the game is that you can move around, you can jump, and also you can shoot. The camera was a third-person over-the-shoulder cam, so it'd be following the player around.
We spent a lot of time researching into Western themes and cowboy themes just to make sure we got the authenticity of the game right, just to make sure people could understand and correctly interpret what the aesthetic style was. For my personal process, I used the thumbnailing process at the start, which is just making very vague silhouettes of characters and then showing these to the team and they choose which silhouette they like, refining those concepts more and more and then clothing them and making sure the concepts are all exactly how everybody wants them to be before we begin any sort of actual production of the characters. A lot of time was spent into rigging and then actually moving joint by joint, hand animating frame by frame each of the movements that the characters would be doing. And from there we'd export the models out and the animations out into a format that could be interpreted by the game engine, hand them over to the programmers and they'd implement them into the game.
There was a total of over 400 textures and over 100 models in the game. I worked closely with the lead artist to make sure all the art worked correctly in the game, and as a lead programmer I worked on all parts of the game. I had to write scripts, over 200 of them, to make sure every part of the game functioned as the player expected it to, and as the level designers, the game designers wanted it to.
Our initial idea was to make tracks that were like techno themes but also still into Western. So before this we had gathered a large amount of research from other games and also films. So games like Ratchet and Clank and Borderlands, some good examples, and also like Paul, because they have a lot of like techno-based music. So different levels would have different play styles. So for certain arenas we need faster, more upbeat tracks. We have these vending machines which provide players with buffs once used, and so to allow players to locate these, we had like audio clips that were like an ear effect. So when a player hears this and then adds it closer to that sound's origin, the sound would get louder. So hopefully players running through the level would hear it, move closer to it, then get the buff.
Dead Metal takes place in a far-flung corner of the galaxy where there's mineral wealth, and these robots have been sent to mine this wealth and then send it back to the Lone Star Mining Corporation's base. We created a series of cutscenes that convey how the player finds himself in the town of White Falls and how the resolution of the game, which I won't spoil for you. Each character has got a unique personality. It's based around the robotic Wild West aesthetic, so they'll have characteristics of both. So for example, one of the player characters, Dr. Botsworth, he is a snake oil salesman and has this kind of conniving personality, but then he's very robotic as well. The core experience that we wanted to produce is there, which is a fun multiplayer game. We always thought when concepting the game that when we had most fun it was playing with our friends, and that's one of the core features of Dead Metal.